and welcome to episode 7 of Speak On It. Mike Vick in the house. I am your host, Danny Ocean, as always, joined by the smoothest man on the planet, Loasted Mix. How you living, baby?
Hey man, you know I'm living blessed as always. It's always here. It's a blessing to be here with you, my brother, Danny Ocean. You already know when you see this Nas fade, it can only be one brother, the good brother, Los Mix. Let's get into it. I love it.
Let's get into it. As always, the chat is open. If you drop a comment and it's worthy enough to us for us to acknowledge it. Now I'm joking. We'll acknowledge all of them. If you chat in the chat, if you talk in the chat, we will chat back. As always, this show is brought to you by goingfor2.com. Head over to goingfor2.com for all your daily fantasy advice and anything else you need. Hey, PJ in the house. I heard you was out last week. Welcome back, baby. We in here. Also, shout out to our new sponsor, Manscaped. Support for Speak On It is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. They obsess over their technology developments to provide you with the best tools for your grooming experience. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. We have an exclusive offer because we love y'all, because y'all are people. Go to manscaped.com. Type in Speak On It in the promo box. You'll get 20% off. You'll get free shipping. Head over to Manscaped. Speak On It. You'll get 20% off. While we're talking about Manscaped, they hooked both of us up with a bunch of cool swag items, man. And the big part, well, first, they gave us this dope bag, but the big part of it is where's that joint at? It's in here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, dog, the best ball trimmer on the planet, baby.
Yes, sir.
The lawnmower 3.0. Yeah, y'all see the mic. Y'all see just shh. Listen to how quiet this joint is.
Ooh, that thing.
That thing purring. That thing is a mower for real. Look at the light. It has this 3rd generation trimmer, features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. And thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology, I am now a lot more confident in shaving the fellas. So them things can be thinging, you feel me? As you can see, the people who are listening, just imagine a beautiful, perfect LED light for more. Hey, PJ, yeah, speak on the PJ. PJ say he feel us over here.
Let's go, PJ. You know about that lawnmower. Talk to me.
Yes, sir. The LED light offers a more precise shave, and it's waterproof to make sure your shower experience is clean and not nasty. That's right, PJ. Your boys will thank you. Let's see. The lawnmower comes inside their brand new Perfect Package 3.0, which comes with everything you need to keep trimmed, cut, free, and smelling nice downstairs. The Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0 also includes the Crop Preserver, an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer, which works, by the way, especially for us fat boys whose thighs rub together. That's a little too much. I'm sorry. So you put deodorant everywhere else, might as well put deodorant on your balls, because guess what? I don't care what you tell them. They sting, dog. Manscaped also threw in some more swag items for us, like this dope shirt. They sent us some underwear. So like I said, head over to Manscaped, put in the promo code Speak On It, 20% off, free shipping. Get like your boy. The carpet matches the drapes, if you feel me. Get like us. Well, you have the Nas fade. You can. For me, it's nice when
You're all I'm gonna say is this: with Manscaped, your balls will thank you.
Yes, they will, and they do talk. They do speak.
They do speak.
They do be talking.
Sometimes you think with them, and they speak to you, and they're telling you.
And they be telling you.
Go to manscaped.com. Put in the promo. Speak on it. Because your balls are
20% off. That's right. Your balls are. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's jump into this talk.
Holla at me, Manscaped. If you're watching, holla at me. Let's talk some. So let's talk about something because I like that. I like that. We can work some now.
Yeah, Manscaped, and for all the ball men out there, yay, dog, the carpet master drapes. Put that on the shirt. Send it out to the land. Only to the ball dudes though. We don't want dudes with Nas fades. Repping for the ball man.
The balls are talking to you.
So let's talk about. Say what?
No, go ahead.
So let's talk about these sports, man. So NFL free agency has come. I mean, it's still going on, but the big names have come and gone. Just real quick, who are your winners and losers?
NFL free agency. Honestly, the way I'm looking at it, after like the trades of last week, I want to say the 49ers have put themselves in a position to potentially get better. But I don't know what the hell they're trying to do. Are these reports true about Mac Jones? Like, are they really like? Is this something they're really like? Because I'm not going to say like I'm against it, but I'm also like, if you're going to move to number 3 overall, like you gave up all that draft capital for Mac Jones. You sure he just wasn't going to be there? I don't know. I think it's a questionable decision, but I'm going to say the 49ers got better because I believe in and Kyle Shanahan. I'll give him that. He runs a really good offense. As I saw a clip of him saying, it's a simple offense, but it's hard to stop, and it's more of a pick your poison sort of thing. So he knows, obviously he knows what he has in Jimmy, a healthy Jimmy Garoppolo with healthy pieces around him. I don't know. I want to go with the 49ers have gotten better though.
So we're going to talk about.
I agree. I think it might be a little bit too much for Mac Jones, but who are we? Because Mac Jones was a Heisman finalist, so we can't say he's a scrub. That brother can ball.
Oh, we can say he's a scrub. Did you
He
see him today?
They take Justin Fields. So let
They
me
should
ask
take
you
Justin
something.
Fields.
You think Justin Fields is going to go before this Wilson kid from BYU?
He's not, but he should. Justin should go before Wilson, but he's not. The Jets are probably taking Wilson.
Will the 49ers move up to take Justin Wilson then?
To take Fields or
Fields? I mean, that's what
then yes. Then yes, absolutely. I think the 49ers, if you walk away with Trey Lance or Justin Fields, it's worth it. Preferably Justin Fields. Fields is QB1B. So I've seen people write articles about how Fields is QB1 over Trevor.
Are we sure the Jets are going to take Wilson though? Because Sam Darnold, I don't know if you guys follow the Jets, but I think I read a report that said whatever wide receiver that just signed there was under the impression that Sam Darnold was going to be the starting quarterback.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Are we sure
Fields and
Lance are better than Mac? I mean, I agree with you. I agree. So honestly, I would say the 49ers. What do you think?
So the winner of free agency, this is kind of a loaded question because I think the winner, it's the one and the same. So Daniel Jones is the winner and the loser of free agency, right? Like he now has enough weapons that he has zero excuses to why the Giants shouldn't be fighting for a division title instead of watching Sunday Night Football Week 17 crying on Twitter because the Eagles are obviously tanking, right? Like you have zero excuses. Daniel Jones has Kenny Golladay. You're probably going to draft Jalen Waddle. He has Saquon coming back. Daniel Jones is the winner and the loser at the same time because now he's out of excuses. Now, let's jump to this draft that we're talking about. So the Dolphins, the Niners, and the Eagles made a trade. So the Dolphins got 6 overall this year and 156 from the Eagles, a first, a third, and a 2023 first-round pick from San Francisco. San Francisco got number 3 overall from Miami. Philly received the 12th pick this year, 123 overall, and a 2021 from Miami. What are your thoughts on this?
So the 49ers gave up kind of a haul for this, and Miami's just kind of sitting back because my thinking was with Miami, everyone thought that Miami could be in line to take a quarterback for some reason or make a trade, which I don't think is about to happen anymore. I think Tua is their guy. I think with this move, I think that they're maybe thinking that Devontae Smith or good enough wide receiver 1 is going to be on the board at number 12 overall. So I think they were trying to give up the haul. Obviously, the 49ers are probably kind of itching to probably make some moves. So I'm with PJ here. I think Miami's probably making some good moves here. So, but it's, I think it's also one of those things where this is my thing about draft picks. It's like, everyone loves the boast. Oh, X team got this many draft picks, this, that, and the third, but they don't really mean anything till you have a player with a name. And then you see how the player kind of pans out. If you give up all these picks and all these picks turns out to be bust, then really who won that trade? The team that gave up the player or the team who got the bust? You know? So, I like to keep that in mind. But I think in the grand scheme of things, I think Miami, in terms of trade, I think Miami sort of won that end of that trade with the 49ers. But also, I think on the 49ers, and this is a team, you got to remember, 2 years away, they made a Super Bowl, right? So they're thinking, when healthy, this is still a Super Bowl contending roster. I think they've improved. They're planning on improving a lot, and they want to keep their options open at quarterback because obviously, when Jimmy G's, who's clearly their guy, when he's not there, they have some problems with the QB position. So they want to maybe secure a backup QB.
So I really thought about this long and hard, right? Because it affects my Eagles. But I'm with you and PJ. Like the Dolphins think they're a wide receiver one away from contending, and I can't blame them. You have to go for it when the window is open because in the NFL, the window it closes and opens like in the blink of an eye. So I don't blame them for going all in. If they draft Jamar Chase, that's excellent. That's what I would do. But I still think they're a second tier team in the AFC, right? They're not in the same breath as the Bills, they're not in the same breath as the Chiefs, and they're not in the same breath as the Ravens. But I get what they're doing, right? This is what you have to do, especially after all that losing they've done. If you have an opportunity to even sniff the playoffs or put yourself into that position, you take it. So I love the move.
They were in position last year, weren't they?
Yeah, I think. I know they went 10-6, and I think they barely missed the playoffs. Like if you get a Jamar Chase, you're saying, hey, this is the guy that's going to put us over the top. That's why you trade for 6 overall. For San Francisco, like we said, if you get Justin Fields or Trey Lance, like you might want to pencil them in for the NFC Championship game against Green Bay because that's what the 49ers are, right? Like they are a QB away from being the Chiefs of the NFC. And they don't have to be great like Patrick Mahomes, but they can be a great team like the Chiefs. I love the move for the 49ers. Now, to be pessimistic on the Eagles side, like I'm kind of upset because to me, this is Jalen Hurts insurance. So if Jalen Hurts is bad or just mediocre, you now have the draft picks. You got 3 potential first-round picks next year if the Wentz deal, if that comes to fruition, if he plays 75% of the snaps or 70% of the snaps and they make the playoffs, you'll have 3 first-round picks. So you can take those 3 picks. You can trade up to get the guy you think is in the draft if you're not bad, if you're not close to it, or you can get a disgruntled quarterback who you think is worth it. Like no other team in the NFL can match the Eagles next year when it comes to a trade. I think that's what this is to me. You mentioned it about the picks. Picks mean nothing. Howie Roseman is a terrible draft evaluator. I am not confident that he's going to pick the right guy at 12. I would prefer him stay at 6. It's hard to mess up 6 overall when the top 4 are going to be quarterbacks, right? Like you're going to have a premier guy at his position who can be the cornerstone of a franchise that does not have a lot of cornerstones right now. So I'm disappointed. I'm excited. And then if Jalen Hurts is good, let me go back to that. If he's good, now you got 3 first-round picks to build around Jalen, and then next year this rebuild will really take off. I like the move in theory. I'm probably not going to like the move in reality when Howie picks the 5th offensive tackle at 12 overall.
But y'all need that though.
I mean, would I rather have the 3rd ranked offensive tackle, or would I rather have Jamar Chase? I'd rather have Jamar Chase. And while we're here and talking about these Eagles, this is the 2nd year in a row that the Eagles are probably going to let an elite receiver slip through their fingers trying to be cute. Like last year, they PJ, the Eagles O-line is getting healthy, right? Like Lane was out last year. The only healthy lineman was Kelsey. So I think they're okay there. But last year, you let CeeDee Lamb, the Cowboys draft him because you were too cheap to trade a 2nd-round pick to trade with the Falcons to get CeeDee. And the Giants will draft Jalen Waddle right in your face. So now you have to draft a corner. You're going to have to draft for need instead of letting the board speak to you. So I don't trust the Eagles at all. And that is my rant for the night.
Where do you think Devontae Smith's going to go?
I don't know. I just have a feeling like 12 is going to be just right outside. Like someone might surprise us and jump up to get Devontae. I feel like the Giants are going to draft Waddle or Devontae, whoever falls, right? Whoever's still there out of those 2 Alabama receivers are going to the Giants. And then the Eagles are going to be stuck with a 2nd tier Yeah, like PJ, yeah, Smith to the Lions, like I could see that happening. Like the last of those three guys are going to the Giants, and then the Eagles are going to be stuck with a second tier of player that can be a starter and good, but not all pro, perennial Pro Bowler.
Well, someone's got to make a trade. Someone can make a trade.
I
Maybe
mean,
to move up a spot or two. That's probably a hefty trade, though.
yeah, then why did you move? What is this? Eagles should get Bateman. I see. I keep hearing this about Bateman. I hear you, but the
Oh, is that
Eagles.
the one receiver from Minnesota or whatever?
Yeah, that's the kid from Minnesota. I feel like the Eagles need an X receiver. They need a big body to replace Alshon. Like they have enough quick, in space dudes. Like they need someone to go get it. That's it. You're just going to stare at me while I sit in disgust at Philadelphia.
Nah, as a Philadelphia hater, I just love to listen to it. Love
Bye.
to.
Let's talk about the 17th game that the NFL has added. Bateman is a hog. I hear you, PJ. If Bateman is there and they take it into works out, man, all props to you. I just want Jamar Chase. I have my heart set on him. But so the
You know,
NFL say what?
I'm glad we're getting ready to talk about the 17th game that the NFL just added because I saw that they were unveiling some matchups. I saw that Green Bay's added one was Kansas City. Oh man, what the hell? What the hell?
Hey dog, you out here blowing that smoke about Aaron Rodgers? He got the chance now. But what are your thoughts on the NFL adding the 17th game, even though it's against the Chiefs for you? For us, and we get to play the Jets.
Oh, brother, of course y'all play the Jets.
We get the Jets, baby.
Of course. You know what? I don't really understand it. I don't really get it. I mean, what's this extra game going to prove in the grand scheme of things? What's the new playoff format really going to prove in the grand scheme of things? Like what was wrong with what we had other than people wanted to make more money? And I think that's what this is about. People wanted to make more money, and Players Association agreed to it, right? Wasn't a thrown thing in their face. The Players Association agreed to it, so it's kind of like, okay, so what did the Players Association get that they felt that this was adequate enough, to justify it, right? Because who are we? We're in the Players Union, so we're only going by what the facts are and what we know and what they base their decision off of. And I question it, but I don't know what they base their decision off of. So I don't get it. It just seems like a silly thing, because like honestly, what is the 17th game going to do other than screw a lot of teams? Guarantee you, it's also going to help a lot of teams too, but it's going to screw a lot of teams, especially with the way injuries work.
I think I'm most upset that now I got to relearn math, right? Because now you kind of had records on your mind 9-7, 8. Now it's either a winning season or a losing season. There's no 500. But overall, like this is just the NFL's hypocrisy at its greatest, right? Like in one breath, they say we take player safety seriously, and then in the next breath, they add a 17th game with no extra bye week. So if your bye week is week 4, you have 12 games in a row.
Oh Lord have mercy! Can you
right? Like
that's 3 months worth of games.
3 months of games with no break. Like the injuries are going to pile. Had they added an extra bye week that's guaranteed, like after week 12 or 13, I mean, I still don't like it, but I'd be okay with it. But the fact that there's only one bye week over the course of a 17-game season, it's ridiculous. Now, if you add a 17th game, and this didn't happen, but you got to take like Thursday night football off the table, because there's no way you can play a Sunday. It's week 16. You play Sunday at 1, and then you got to turn around and play Thursday night. Like that is too much. And PJ, you're right. It's agreed. It's agreed. Owners getting richer, and they're just giving more.
I mean, the salary cap increases, which means the player salary, and deals are going up. But I kind of want to say for what, but who am I? Who are we? Because we're not the ones making these millions and millions and millions of dollars, right?
And I think another thing that bothers me is another week 17 game, and they're like, I don't think anything has changed like insurance wise for players. Like you're just taking an extra week of risk for, I mean, like you said, yeah, PJ, you're right. The longevity of players is
Yeah.
going to go way down. But like when your quarterback, like when someone gets hurt week 17 before the playoffs, like what are you going to do? Like I just,
That's one of my biggest things. Imagine being a contender and like some BS happened on a bad play or a dirty play or something in week 17 in a meaningless game against a team with like a losing record.
yeah, it's
So
going to
wait,
be
hold on. You said there's no way to have a losing record, by the way.
no. Now if there's 17 games, there's no way to have a 500 record. You can only have a winning record, or you can only have a losing record.
Oh, that's bull. They saw
Yeah,
too many teams like the Seahawks and they saw too many 7-9 teams and 8-8 teams.
I mean, what's going to happen when a 7-10 team sneaks in? See, now I'm doing all this math in my head, or 8-9 team sneaks in, or 9-8 team sneaks in. Like I just, it's
You
a
mean
money
like the
grab.
winner of the you mean like the winner of the NFC East?
Hey, the NFC East is going to be competitive this year. We're just not going to be part of the competition. Like I legit think Dallas, New York, and Washington it could be interesting, but
You
I'm not
think
counting
so?
us. Yeah, I got to wait to see what we do in the draft before I get any sort of confidence.
PJ said teams might sit starters.
And they should. Like you're going to start seeing NBA level rest, right? Like when Pop sat the star, dunking in them on national TV. Like you're going to see that.
With only one playoff bye. Oh yeah, that is true. They're continuing with the new playoff format where the number one seed gets the bye. So imagine you're a team that gets a bye in week 4. You have to play, all them games plus playoff games. You're gonna
Like
be
that.
limping into the playoffs.
Like the chances of going to the Super Bowl if your bye week is before week 8 will probably drop astronomically. And week 8 is probably a stretch. Week 9 or 10. There's no way the human body can play 12 NFL games in a row like that. I just feel like that the war of attrition is going to be something to behold.
It's probably gonna be something like like what PJ is saying, and what you were saying. It's like, to your point, it's gonna find yourself like the old Peyton Manning. I'm just gonna sit week 17, the
Yeah,
new week 17 sort of thing. Like, what's the point? Like, because I mean, unless you're trying to go for like an undefeated season, then what? Do
right.
you do it then?
You
Because no
y'all
team,
thought
no, like imagine you're 16-0, you have a chance to be 17-0. Do you go for it then?
absolutely, but y'all thought the Eagles
But if
Washington Sunday.
but if you're, say your best player gets hurt, then everyone's gonna be like, well, what was it for? What was it for?
That's true.
So what do you do? Like, this is just added risk for nothing.
For nothing, for extra money. Like you said, we can't out here count
But-
pockets. Like if the players think it's worth it, then okay.
yeah. And I'm guessing the NFL must have showed them some numbers like from the TV deals that were like, yes, this is more dangerous, but this is the benefit. And they were probably like, ooh, that bread. Which who are we? You know?
So let's switch gears and talk basketball. Right, the two biggest things that happened this week: LaMarcus Aldridge went to the Nets, and Andre Drummond went to your Lakers. How do you feel? What do you think?
Well, this is my thing about the buyout market. First off, I'm happy that Drummond signed with the Lakers. I would say, like, of all the buyout guys, I would probably say he was the biggest. Right? He was
Right.
probably the biggest signing. So I'm glad he came to the Lakers. But this is my thing about not only just him, but like LaMarcus Aldridge, Blake Griffin, so on. There's a reason why these players get bought out, right? Like, there's a reason why, like, they're paying you to, like, just not be there anymore, right? So
Right.
I think what we as basketball fans got to realize that, yes, these are still incredible basketball players, by every stretch of the imagination. But there are reasons why these players are getting paid to go away, pretty much. Whether it was the team not being a good fit for the player or the player not being a good fit for the team. There's a reason why they got to this point. Because if he didn't, then you imagine that they would just still be playing basketball, right?
Right.
So I would say my thoughts are the Drummond to the Lakers, very big signing. But let's also look at this in the void of there's a reason why these players are bought out. Your thoughts?
It doesn't move the needle either way for me, right? Like Andre Drummond, like the Lakers are now like they can do whatever they want. Like when LeBron and AD are healthy, they can go super big and play Davis at the 4 and Drummond at the 5 and just beat you on the boards all night. Or they can play super
What would
small.
that be? Would that be? You think that would be? You said Drummond at the 4 and AD at the 5.
No, Drummond at the 5, AD at the 4, Braun at the
Bron at
3.
the 3. Yeah.
Yeah, like that is a big man.
KCP and Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, like that is a massive lineup, right? Like if you're playing someone, a guard heavy team like the Blazers or something, yeah, sure. Throw the big boys out there, even though Dame can shoot from anywhere. But yeah, like, or you can play really small and put what you've been doing, AD at the 5, LeBron at the 4. I don't know you guys roster. Kuzma at the 3, and then Schroeder and KCP. Now you're flexible. Now you have length. You can switch everything. So I feel like the Lakers are more versatile. I'm not a big Andre Drummond guy. Like I think someone says he just puts up a bunch of empty calories, and I'm kind of in the same boat. Sure, he has 20 and 20, but they lose by 15, so like, what does it really matter? And then for
that is one of the funniest stats I've heard. Like he has like all these 20 and 20 games with the Cavs that end up losing by like 32, and you're just kind of like, well, what was going on out there?
Yeah. Like, and that's not to disrespect him at all. Like 20 and 20 is impressive no matter who you are, but it seems like for him, it's not a game-changing thing.
Because he's played for 2 teams, right? The Cavs and the Pistons?
Yeah, the Pistons.
And both
came from Georgetown.
And both of them were perennial stinkers.
Yeah.
Drummond is a Coke Zero. It's like, why?
PJ.
Hey,
PJ.
Hey, come on, chill on my new LA Laker. That was a good one though.
But and as far as, and this goes for Blake Griffin too and LaMarcus Aldridge, like they're just food for Joel Embiid. It doesn't matter. Like I don't care. Like and PJ also asked this question: who wins the title, the Nets or the Lakers? It's the Lakers, because I'm still in the boat that the Sixers can beat the Nets. Like I am still firmly in that boat. Like LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin are just food for Joel Embiid. There's no one on that Nets team that has anything for Joel. And the Sixers have a lot of defensive ball stoppers. You got Simmons, you got Thibault, Mike Scott, Danny Green. Like the Sixers can throw bodies at the Nets and be fresh. Like I still believe the Sixers can beat the Nets in 7.
So are the Sixers your team or the Mavs your team? I'm just asking for a friend.
I grew up a Sixers fan because of Iverson, but I'm not.
And the plot thickens.
But I mean, the Sixers team, they're one in the East even when Embiid is hurt, right? They're still one in the East, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if I throw everything, if I throw Ben Simmons at Kevin Durant, if I throw Danny Green and Thibault at Harden, and Kyrie beats me, and this is no disrespect to Kyrie, like he's just the lesser of the 3 evils. Like if Kyrie has to drop 45 a night to beat me, I can live with that. But James Harden and Kevin Durant will not torch me. Whoa, PJ said I can't see the Sixers beating the Nets, but why can't you though? Like the Sixers have multiple on-ball defenders that can not. You can't stop Kevin Durant, but you can disrupt him.
I'm honestly going to say that I still think the Lakers win the chip, PJ. But I think it's to what Danny was saying. I think when you add the addition of Drummond, it makes them more versatile and able to switch their lineups more than likely. Plus, when you add a healthy LeBron James, motivated after the injury and wanting to just win another championship in general, mix that with baby goat, as Shannon Sharp would say, Anthony Davis, who's a nightmare across any stat line. I still think like them to come out the West, obviously to win it all. For the East, I like what you're saying about the Sixers. I hear it. I still think the Nets are coming out the East. Think it might be a little closer than we're giving it credit for.
Yeah, PJ out in these streets talking like the Sixers are bums. They choke and Joel Embiid is soft. Dog, he's the MVP. Well, he was until he got hurt. Now with Jokic, but Embiid was the
Oh, so you
MVP.
saw his award?
Say what?
You saw his MVP award or something? Because it sounds like you saw it.
Y'all out here just snipping at the Sixers, and now you got me out here sounding like a Sixers homer, and I'm not. I'm just saying, like, if we're talking about choking, like, what has James Harden shown you in the playoffs that makes you think, "Yep, I trust in him. He's going to take me to a title."
But what has he shown you in the regular season that's told you he can lead me to a title? And there's multiple instances of both. And there's
That's fair.
multiple instances of some failures. Let's not deny him as he's already top 10 shooting guards of all time.
Who, James Harden?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh no, James Harden retires today. He in the Hall of Fame tomorrow. There's no doubt in my mind.
Some say he might already be top 5. I'm in the mindset of maybe believing it. He different.
I mean, yeah, you could talk me into James Harden being top 5. Nets have way too much firepower where they don't play defense.
No, they've been getting better on the defensive end. I've been watching a few of their games. They've been changing up a little bit of their defense philosophy. They've been looking better on the defensive end. I'll give them credit where credit's due. But it's DeAndre Jordan out there getting yelled at every other possession because he don't know where the hell he's supposed to be anytime they own defense.
Like, what do you think? You can't win every single game 135 to 130. Like, at some point, you're going to have to lock somebody down in the playoffs. Like, it's cute in the regular season, but when I have 7 games to map you out to make life difficult on offense, the fundamentals of defense mean that much more. And I think right now the Nets have no answer for Joel Embiid, and the Sixers have more defenders to throw at the Nets than anyone else.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I can't – Kevin Durant is a walking bucket, but I can't ask him to go score 40 a night in the playoffs to give us a chance to win.
Oh, hold on now. No. I'm gonna stop you right there now because KD wake up and he can give you 35 and 7 easily now. KD's a more versatile defender than we give him credit for too. So let's hold on now about KD. He can still give you 30, 35. He can give you 40 if he needed to now.
But to ask him to
question James Harden's playoff ability, but mix that with Kyrie's already proven playoff experience, Kevin Durant's already proven playoff championship MVP caliber experience, mix that with James Harden's gifted playmaking abilities. I like them to come out the East very tightly contested with Philly, but I still think we should maybe look at some of these other teams. A Boston, a Milwaukee, could hey, that's all I'm saying. A Boston, a Milwaukee, could the Knicks make a push? We don't know, could Beal and Westbrook potentially get a late seed and maybe make a push? And I think there's some other teams in the East. Indiana, we still don't know what's going on with them. Some say we haven't really seen the full Miami team yet. So there's still some contenders, but overall, I still think the Nets are the team to beat. I think offensively, they just give you too much. They just give you a load full. They just give you a full load full. And it's hard to contain that load.
Every week you get on this show and you try to tell us that Boston is some sort of contender. Dog, you the only person south of Boston that believes in the Celtics.
PJ said, I'm not a Harden guy at all, but he looks like a different player that you look. Harden's an animal. He been an animal. Y'all go back and check them MVP years.
I'm saying
MVP robberies.
I'm saying people are just counting out the Sixers like the Nets would walk all over them. That series is going 7. And in game 7, anything can happen.
6. I think it could end in 6. I think James Harden and Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, they a little bit too much.
So if they play each other in the playoffs, right, you're going to get a Kevin Durant game. That's one game. You're going to get a Harden game. You're going to get a Kyrie game, right? You're going to get 2 Joel games. You're going to get a Seth Curry game. And then you're going to get A mixture of Tobias Harris and Mike Scott game.
I think
Nets
you're
in
gonna get it. I
5.
think
Yo,
I
PJ.
would trade one of those out for a Ben Simmons game, and then I don't think a Tobias Harris game, but I do see 2 James Harden games.
I'm saying a Tobias Harris and Mike Scott game.
Nah, I don't see that. I don't see that.
PJ, the Nets in 5. You are so disrespectful, man.
Maybe PJ, maybe.
KD will give you 2 games. That's fair. PJ, you are so disrespectful. Who raised you?
Maybe you might be on to something. Maybe I need to do a little bit more digging on the roster.
I'm reaching, dog. Y'all are all right, man. All right. I'll see y'all in the Eastern Conference Finals when it's Game 7.
What happens if the Sixers don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Then we need to have a talk about Joel. Then we can talk about Embiid, right? Because this year is the year, right? He was playing like an MVP. He has a competent head coach. This is supposed to be the year. I mean, this is the year they make the leap, not to win a title, but this is the year, like, okay. I mean, the East is weak. So, all you have is Brooklyn because I don't believe in Milwaukee.
You fault the coach more than the players.
I think Brett Brown did not hold that team accountable.
And what about Doc?
I mean, look at the record. Okay. Look how Joel isn't playing.
But
look
if they do all
this, is playing.
But we've seen this where Doc has a good record, goes to the playoffs, and loses first or second round.
But Doc has won the title. Is this the year he won't choke? PJ, dog, yo, get PJ out the chat, PJ, dog.
I'm asking the same questions, dog. You and me asking the same questions, different statements.
Hey, dog, college basketball is on tonight. It's time to go home. Y'all just out here just being ruthless. Who played tonight? Is USC, Gonzaga, and
USC, Gonzaga, Michigan, UCLA. There's a chance that both California teams could play each other. Both LA teams could play each other, which is some bull. But maybe it's an ode to the Pac-12. But ACC, shame on you, ACC. We looking real spooky in the light right now. That's all I'm saying.
PJ, you're right. It's a fair question to ask about Embiid, going back to that, but I still think like we're sleeping on him. I got who'd you say it was? I got Gonzaga and I got Michigan tonight.
I got Gonzaga and I got UCLA.
Oh, the run continues. They're VCU.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got. You got anything else, boss?
Hey, speak on it. You here and you never there. You can be around with us, or you can be over there like a square.
Hey.
That's all I'm saying. Manscaped, your balls will thank you.
Yes, then sir. Get you some of this ball deodorant and make them smell nice and good for the summer. And
PJ said Zags for the win. Hey, man, my bracket has Gonzaga winning it all. They're supposed to be Virginia Tech, but I don't think that's going to happen anymore.
I still got Michigan and Ohio State, so I'm still alive with Michigan.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is episode 7 of Speak On It. PJ, we'll catch you next week, man. Go watch some
next week, PJ.
PJ, go watch some Sixers film. Get back at me with watch some Sixers film. As always, this show is brought to you by goingfor2.com. Check out our go to manscaped.com, 20% off. Speak On It, free shipping, 20% off. Let's say goodbye to the people.
People, you already know when you see this Nas fade, it can only be one brother, the good brother, Los D Mix. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, on Twitch at Los D Mix. You see it, LOSDEEMIX at Los D Mix. Holla at your boy. You already know I'm about to lose control and vibe out. Hey.
I really wish people, if you're listening to the pod, please catch the restream and catch these last 3 minutes of this because this is gold. PJ, we're going to ignore all Sixer slander. They're not marshmallows. My name is Danny Ocean. You can catch me, MadAds14. That's it for us, man. We out.
People, we love you. You already know. Speak on it. And we got to go.
Peace.